Hello everyone, this is Shell Point Today for Thursday, June 25th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On today's show, Shell Point resident Dee Horne will talk about the summer concert series with the River City Brass Ensemble coming next month. And Project Development Director Bob Southern will give us a personal tour of the new community building and pool at the Estuary. On Friday is an original one-woman musical presentation of This Old Hat, performed by Patty Carver, who portrays and brings to life 4 noted women of American history. This unique performance is sure to be entertaining and informational too. Carver will portray Betsy Ross, telling her story about the first American flag, Deborah Sampson, who tells of disguising herself as a man in order to fight in the Revolutionary War, Elizabeth Stanton, who speaks on the women's suffrage movement, and Amelia Earhart, reliving the story of her solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean. The performance is at 2:30 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room.
On Saturday, there will be a LifeQuest discussion group. The theme is team builders and icebreakers. This will be a fun, interactive program to get to know each other. Join Program Coordinator Caitlin Van Scoy for this team-building program that is sure to have you laughing as well as sharing. The program begins at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands this Saturday.
Earlier this month, the Shell Point Summer Concert Series kicked off with the Crossroads Quartet. In just a couple weeks, the River City Brass Ensemble takes the stage at the Village Church for another concert you won't want to miss. Dee Horne of Harbor Court is standing by with more about this summer concert.
Hi, I'm Dee Horne from Harbor Court. I'm on the Fine Arts Committee, and I'd like to take a moment to invite you to take advantage of this year's summer concert series. It's not too late to experience some of the wonderful musical entertainment that's coming right here to Shell Point. On Friday, July 10th, the River City Brass Ensemble will perform at the Village Church. You'll enjoy this patriotic celebration concert with a new 8-piece ensemble led by world-renowned tuba artist James Gourlay from Scotland. As a soloist and chamber musician, Gourlay has won international acclaim. Having studied at the Royal College of Music, he has been the principal tuba player for the Birmingham and the BBC Symphony Orchestra, and has worked with most of the world's top conductors. He has toured the world performing with major orchestras. He has a number of solo recordings which cover all of the major works for tuba. In 2010, Gourlay became the musical director of the River City Brass Band, located in Pennsylvania. Their mission is to further American musical culture. The concert is at the Village Church Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for the concert are $20 each and can be purchased at either service desk or by calling 454-2067. We hope you'll join us for this exciting celebratory concert on July 10th with the River City Brass Ensemble. Oh, and don't forget, there are 2 more concerts remaining in the summer concert series. The Woodworks on August 25th, and Dick Hyman performs on September 10th. In addition, there will be a bonus concert with the Southwest Florida Chamber Symphony on August 13th. All concerts are at the Village Church, begin at 7:30 p.m. For more information, visit either service desk or call 454-2067. We'll look forward to seeing you there.
Shell Point's newest community, the Estuary, has a very nice building right smack dab in the middle of the community, and it's appropriately called the Community Building. Project Development Manager Bob Southern is ready to give you a tour of the facility, and he's happy to point out the interesting decor and construction that gives it that old Florida style and charm.
Hello, we're here today to take a tour of our new community building at the Estuary. This building opened a few months ago and is now ready for use by our residents for various activities. As you look at the building, you'll notice that we tried to replicate what we believe was an old Florida style and look, and we've done that through the use of dormers and appurtenances around the soffit and some other features that really give you the feel of the old-time Florida architecture. Another of the interesting features of this building, again to bring in an old Florida style and technique, was the installation of what's called tabby concrete. And this particular feature imitates what used to be done in Florida when they didn't necessarily have or use stone in their concrete mix, but rather used seashells. And as you can see from a close-up look at it, that there are seashells all embedded in this concrete. And you'll see this style used in several locations around the Estuary community. Come on inside and let's take a look around and we'll show you what this place looks like. Interestingly, when people talk about replicating old Florida architecture, back in the days of that type of architecture, they had no air conditioning. Nobody wants to replicate that. However, we did add a lot of features in here that give you a nice contemporary feel of the times of, say, the early 20s in Florida. And as we go through the building, you'll see some of what makes this building so attractive, and it will be so nice for people to use. The nicest feature in this building is the beautiful old fireplace. A lot of natural looking stone, essentially floor to ceiling, and is a very important part of this architecture. And again, in infusing the old and the new, we have an artificial fireplace in here that has actually no fire, no gas, but looks very real. So it's meant to convey a feel and not actually bring some of the downsides of having a real fire or dealing with gas inside the building. So it is, again, a nice blend of old and new ways of doing things. Speaking of old and new, we've got the new technology of a large screen TV blending in with our old style architecture. Well, and as we have said many times, there's very little that goes on around Shell Point that doesn't involve food. So we have built in a little kitchenette area here for potlucks or just for general food preparation and storage. Nice refrigerator with the kind of architecture that blends in with the building. So it's here for use for those times when we need to prepare and serve some food and store it here also. And as is typical when we have community places here in Shell Point, we also have a swimming pool. So let's take a walk outside and have a look at that. It's a uniquely shaped pool with plenty of area around it for sunbathing. Coming soon is a nice shade structure over in the northwest corner. And pool is naturally heated to desirable temperatures, as is the hot tub on the south end of the facility. We have the typical accesses to the community building with parking out front for cars and golf carts. But if you live in the southeast corner of the estuary, you've also got this lovely bridge across our lake. This is a man-made lake, and we decided to connect that part of the community through a nice boardwalk, elevated platform here that's enjoyed by people and also enjoyed by many of our bird friends. So now you've had a little peek at our community building at the estuary, and we just want to let everybody at Shell Point know, as it is through all of our communities, everybody at Shell Point is welcome to come out and use this facility. So come out and swim in our pool, enjoy our nice space, watch the TV. If you've got a function that you want to have in this building, talk to Resort Services about booking a time frame. But please come out and see our newest little amenity here in our Shell Point community. Thank you very much.
And now let's bring you up to date on all the latest happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi everybody, I'm Bev Chandley and I'm here with the happening segment of ShellPoint TV. We're going to start our activities today bright and early at 7:15 with Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That's in the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock we have the Men's Golf Association at the ShellPoint Golf Club. At 8 o'clock we have Round Robin Doubles Tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Paddlers Club will be meeting at the Kayak storage facility at 8:30 for their weekly paddle. And the Samba card players will be at the Sabal Room of the Woodlands at 9 o'clock. At 9:15, the Shuffleboard courts will be busy with Shuffleboard. Current events will be in the Game Room of the Woodlands at 9:30. Also at 9:30, we have the ladies' match play tennis going on at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. We have some line dancing coming up. We have Introduction to Beginning Line Dancing. That's at 9:45 in the Health Club. Then at 10:15, we have Basic Line Dancing in the Health Club. Also at 10:15, the poetry group will be in the art studio down at the island. At 11 o'clock, the Suzy Q-Boat heads to Rum Runners for lunch. You do need to sign up for that. Now we're going to head into the afternoon lineup with a 12:45 Mah-Jongg game being played at the Library Lounge on the island. 1:15, the Aviation Club will be meeting in the Osprey room. At 1:30, we have a Health Connections class, Aqua Pilates Stretch in the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. And at 2 o'clock, the Stamp Ministry will be down in the tunnel in the Stamp Room. At 2:45, the Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2 will be going on at the Health Club. At 4 o'clock, the Seamstress will be in the Osprey room, so if you have any sewing needs, head on down there for some help. At 4:30, the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting will be in the Sabal room down at the Woodlands. Then we have a 6:30 Pinochle game that's held at the Library Lounge on the island. And last but not least, we have a 7 o'clock Trailblazers Bible study in the game room of the Woodlands. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Thursday. Those who have signed up will start the AARP Smart Driver course at 9:15 in the Social Center. And those who have signed up will start boarding for the Cape Coral History Museum Academy on the Go trip at noon on the island. And at 1:30, Shrinking Government will take place in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is baked ham with sweet potatoes and cauliflower. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $13.95, and the soup of the day is country cabbage. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a roast beef club sandwich with onion rings for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are ribeye for $19.95 or flounder for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. Make room for us in your hearts, wrote the Apostle Paul to the Christians in Corinth. Make room for us in your hearts. In a previous letter, he had found it necessary to rebuke the Corinthian believers. So some had taken offense. Instead of tickling their ears, Paul's teaching had challenged their consciences. Now he was planning a return visit to Corinth, so he challenged the Christians there to receive him kindly. He felt their hearts were too small, so he pleaded with them to receive him as their brother. Make room for us in your hearts. Many of us today struggle with the Corinthian problem. It's not that other believers have offended us. It's that they are associated with other Christian denominations or movements, so we're just not sure about them. We're reluctant to embrace believers who differ from us. Some of us have tended to focus on our own denominational practice and viewpoint so that we have lost sight of the mission of the church. We have become ingrown, clannish, introspective, exclusive. Missionary author Major W. Ian Thomas put it this way: regarding how to relate to Christians of a different tradition. We tend to think that if they're one of ours, they must be one of his. We need to realize that if they're one of his, they must be one of ours. So Paul challenges us to treat one another with love. Make room for us in your heart, he begs. Don't look for reasons to screen people out. Look for reasons to include them, remembering that all true believers are saved uniquely by the grace of God. From God's perspective, therefore, our unity is a function of our common life in Christ, not our conformity to a particular doctrine or practice or denomination. There's a little ditty on this subject that goes like this. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. They drew a circle and cast us out. But love and we had the grace to win. We made a circle and put them in. If you're a Christian, are you living in a little circle or a big one? Is your heart small like that of the Corinthians, or big enough to embrace true and devout people of other denominations? One thing I enjoy about the village church is that we represent followers of Jesus who have traditionally worshipped in over 20 different denominations. God has brought us together in harmony. We've all lost some traditions, some church practices, and friends, but we've all gained something and are reminded that the Church of God is larger than the denomination that we were used to. A young friend of mine died some time ago of an enlarged heart. It was 4 times the size of a normal heart. Some of us, like the Corinthians, though, suffer from the opposite problem. Our hearts are too small, and that can be fatal too. So when it comes to relating to other believers, is your heart big enough? Really? And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us for Shell Point Today for Thursday, June 24th. Return tomorrow when we will take a tour of all the swimming pools and spas at Shell Point.
Until then, I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. From all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.